Hello, good evening, everyone. You're welcome to another live episode of DEFI Monday, proudly brought to you by Binance Africa. In today's episode, we are going to be looking at, we have a very interesting topic. I want to share my screen and we are going to be looking at, okay, yeah, I'm sharing my screen. We are going to be looking at how DeFi innovators and developers, right, can avoid issues from the government. We're going to be looking at DeFi as the future of finance. All right. So I'm very glad to be here, and I'm sure you are also glad. Kindly, all right. So kindly put in the chat box where you are joining us from. And before I start, I'll run a short disclaimer. Nothing that I'm going to be sharing should be considered financial advice. It's only for informational and educational purposes only. And you still need to do your due diligence before making any investment decisions. All right. So, having said that, I would go ahead and okay, I'm still waiting for my slide. I'm still waiting for my slide. All right. So having said that, please share this live stream with as many of your colleagues as possible, right? So that they won't miss it. All right. So I want to get my slide on. All right, so I want to get my slide on. So while we are waiting to get my slide on, the first topic for today is DeFi innovators and developers versus government regulators, right? I've told you that I've told you that DeFi, is these decentralized protocols for finance, right? And everything is decentralized. There's no central authority. So why the heck should governments and regulators come after DeFi protocols, all right, or DeFi innovators, right, or DeFi developers? Why should that be, right? And last week we made mention of Tornado Cash. One of their developers was was arrested by uh, government regulators in Amsterdam, right? So, and there have been protests that it should be released. Okay, so what do we have to say what do we have to say as regards um, how you can avoid issues with government and regulators if you are an innovator in the DeFi space or you are a developer in the DeFi space. So let's look let's look at that. I'm still waiting for my slides to be shared. I'm still waiting, right? Okay, my slide is shared now. Okay, so guys, let's look at how you can avoid issues. Okay, so the number one thing here is that let's look at what concerns regulators with DeFi, right? It's decentralized finance. We all know, right? There's no single point of control or single point of failure, right? So, what are the things that regulators are after? Okay, so regulators have three main functions, right? The number one function is that they want to go after any criminal activities, right? This can include money laundering, tax evasions, and terrorist financing. All these are criminal activities, right? Another thing that uh, another thing that regulators are after is fraud, right? Anywhere that there's fraud, they want to come in, right? And they want to come in and you know ensure that the issues are resolved. Those the fraudulent actors, they are caught, arrested, in prison, etc. Right? So fraud can come in case of hacks. When they hack a DeFi protocol, right? So regulators we all know what okay. All right. So we all know rock pools where the founders, the team members of the DeFi protocols, they cash out on the community members, right? Okay. All right. So we also have systemic risk. Regulators won't keep quiet on crypto. They won't keep quiet on DeFi because of systemic risk, right? And the reason why we have systemic risk is because crypto is growing rapidly, right? DeFi is growing rapidly, right? And we can have future influence on other markets, right? We can have future influence on other markets, right? So DeFi, for example, we all know about the economic collapse that happened in 2008, right? And maybe 2020 during the COVID, right? So things find a way of if there's a collapse somewhere, it's find a way of affecting other markets, right? So regulators want to know what are the systemic risk in crypto and DeFi. How is it going to affect other market? How is it going to affect the economy, right? So that's what regulators are after. And in the case of Tornado Cash, do you think it's actually legitimate for regulators to arrest one of their developers, right, for a crime that was not committed by him, right, for a crime that was committed by their users? Do you guys think is actually legitimate, right? So, what do you think? Let me know in the chat box what you think, whether it's legitimate, or not. All right. I'm looking at the chat box now. All right. I'm looking at the chat. The question is, do you think it's legitimate for regulators to arrest the founder or the developer of a protocol, right, instead of the users that committed a particular crime, right? Do you guys think it's legitimate? Okay, so Samuel Alagbe said it's not legitimate. Yeah, in a way, right? Okay, that's an angle. I won't say that's totally correct, but that's an angle. In a way, it's not legitimate for government, arrest the the founder or the developer, right, for a crime that is committed by the users, right? So, but if I'm to look at it from the angles of the regulator, they might just want to interrogate the developer, right? He's not even the founder in this case. You might just want to interrogate the developer, and at the end, allow him just get some vital information, then allow him to go, right? But looking at it, what vital information can they get? Because when it comes to DeFi, it's not as if everything is on chain. Everything is on chain on DeFi. So, what are the vital information that you think they can actually get from the developer, right? So, put it down in the comment section below, because this thing is very, very important, because we have developers in our communities as well, right? We have people passionate about DeFi. So, what information do you think they would like to get, right, about maybe the users, of using Tornado.cash, when nearly all information is available online? Okay. All right. So Mohammed Najib Ahmed is saying they didn't do good to him, not even allowing his wife, family members to interact with him. It's bad. Yes, it's very, very bad. Right. It's something that is very, very bad. And I myself, I find it a bit pathetic, right? Because I'm a fan of DeFi, right? And that in the space, some of us are eager to build things, right? But when we start seeing how our regulators are going after the innovators, we might want to maybe just stay safe and not develop. Okay, so, but that's in the case of DeFi platforms like Tornado Cash, which is a privacy exchange on the Ethereum blockchain. Okay, so having said that, let's look at how to protect yourself as a DeFi innovator, right? One of the way that you can protect yourself as a DeFi innovator or developer is that you find a way to prevent bad actors from using your protocol for illicit or illegal activities. Okay? And the first question you're going to ask me is that, isn't decentralized finance uh, decentralized in the sense that anybody can use it? You're right. Decentralized finance is what decentralized. Anybody can use it. But you need to, but when bad actors start using your DeFi protocol, right? Regulators will start having an eye on it, right? So you maybe through education, you enlighten people and prevent bad actors from using it, right? And if at all bad actors still keep using it, what you can do is to reduce the percentage of bad actors using the protocol, right? Because I was able to read online that about 20% of the volume of transactions on Tornado.cash, about 10 to 20%, right, uh, are illicit activities, right, are bad actors, right? So you have to reduce it to the barest minimum, okay? And you can also be completely anonymous, right? Look at Satoshi Nakamoto, for example. Can they go arrest him? Of course not. They can't go after Satoshi Nakamoto. They can't go and arrest him, right? Because he is completely anonymous. Okay. So having said that, let's go to. So let me know your thoughts about protecting yourself as a DeFi innovator or developer before we go to the next topic for today. So let me know your thoughts. So let me have your thoughts. Let me have your thoughts. I'm looking at the comments section now. Let me have your thoughts. Let me have your thoughts on how to protect yourself if you're an innovator in the space. All right. All right. Good to be back. Good to be back. Okay. So guys, okay. So guys, now we are going to be looking at DeFi. You know, the future of of finance, right? We all know that crypto is the future of money, right? Very soon, our fiat currencies, is already getting outdated, right? Very soon, you know, they might fade off, right? And everybody will be using crypto. I hope we get to that point. I hope we get to that point. However, um, yeah. However, as we're getting there, as more people are adopting it, every single day, crypto is growing in adoption. All right. And let's look at crypto exchanges. Crypto exchanges, they are the future of banks, right? Um, very soon, we'll not be going to banks any longer, right? All our funds might be on crypto exchanges like Binance, Coinbase, and other exchanges, right? We also have decentralized applications. They are the future of applications, right? These applications are trustless, right? Permissionless, they use smart contracts. So all right. Then we have DeFi itself, which is the future of finance, right? And it's not as if decentralization actually solves all problems, right? It's not as if decentralization is a silver spoon that anything blockchain, it doesn't have issues. But one thing that blockchain and decentralization is very good at is DeFi, is finance, rather, is finance, right? So with DeFi in the future, people will be able to willingly interact with protocols, right? And I'm sure that by that time, the security in DeFi will have been very high. There will be no more hacks, and people will voluntarily interact with DeFi, and at the right time, maybe when their interest has gotten to a particular amount, at the right time, they get their money back, right? So let's look at pension, for example. If you look at Nigeria, we have people that they have contributed to a pension for years, and right now they need their money, or they need the money that they have contributed, right? But they can't have it, they can't get it yet, right? Uh, Talk less of the interest, right? So I have people that for 5 6 years have been applying for their pension, but they can't get it. So all these issues are going to be, solved with DeFi, right? One space that I know that DeFi is going to um, uh, come into and uh, provide unique solutions is pension. Yeah, pension. Yeah, and pension. Okay, even savings and investment, right? So very soon you won't need a centralized party to do your savings. We all know platforms like Piggyvest, Cowrywise, very soon we are not going to be using them, and everything we are going to be using is going to be DeFi for our saving and our investment. Okay, and let's look at DAOs, for example. So decentralized autonomous organizations, very soon they'll be our future of governance, right? So we can even use a DAO to vote for a what? A president. You can use tokens, right, to vote for a president, for a governor, right? So all these things are what we should be looking at. We have DEXs. So DEXs can be the future of crypto exchanges, right? Whereas, you own your keys, you own your crypto, and you interact with any exchange that you want. Okay. So let's also look at AMM, automated market makers. So they are the future of liquidity and market making, right? So what do what liquidity is, right? So providing when you provide liquidity, you provide asset that people can exchange, right? You strengthen the trading pair, right? So that's that about that. So let's look at whether DeFi is a bubble. Whether DeFi is a bubble. I hope um, okay. So let's look at DeFi. Is DeFi a bubble? Is DeFi a bubble? Right. So one thing about DeFi is that it has been growing rapidly since 2020. Right. In fact, since the 2020 crash caused by COVID, right, two sectors grew the most, which is crypto and DeFi, right? Billions were invested. Okay. So what's the bubble? Let me start by explaining what a bubble is. A bubble is generally referred to as a situation whereby the price of anything, right? It can be a stock, it can be a financial asset, it can be a material, anything, right? Exceed its fundamental value by a large amount, by a large margin. For example, people believe Bitcoin and Ethereum are bubble because their current price far exceeds the what? The what? The the fundamental value, right? If you have to look at the fundamental value of Ethereum, right? How it's being used, its utility value, how it's being used for uh, smart contract transaction, right? For dApps, right? DeFi, right? Do you think Ethereum worth to be at the current price? Right? So a bubble simply means what you are buying, the current price of what you are buying, right? So far supersedes the value that you are getting from it. Okay. So having said that, we have had a lot of bubbles. We have tulip mania bubble, we have housing bubble, whereas the price of house so high that they end up crashing. Okay. And anything after a bubble, once the bubble pops, the next thing is crash, right? Economic collapse. So let's look at why you may consider DeFi to be in a bubble. There have been fall in the total value logged in DeFi protocols. Yes, there have been fall, right? According to a website that I checked called DeFi Pulse, the total value of money logged in DeFi protocols for saving, for investment, for lending, for borrowing topped about $100 billion in November. But right now, it's currently about 60, 65 or so, right? So it's falling gradually, and people believe that maybe the bubble has already popped, right? We also have criticism everywhere, right? Vitaly Buterin, for example, said printing of coins, printing of new tokens to pay the high yield. Most of these DeFi protocols promise high yield returns, high APY, right? So when you are printing new coins, you are printing new tokens so that you can pay back this high yield, right? In a way, right, that is not good, right? In a way, it's like a bubble, right? It's like a bubble. It's like a bubble. It's like a bubble. In a way, it's like a bubble. Okay. So another reason is that DeFi is being used by a lot of scammers, right? According to some people, right, they feel it's in a bubble, and also hackers are stealing huge amounts from bridges. So they're like, yeah, it's a bubble. Okay. So having said that, let me show you the total value logged, right? So this is the chart for total value logged. As you can see, it almost got to 100 billion in November last year. Right now, it's about 30 something, 36. Okay, we have 47 here, right? Is it 47? Yeah, about 47.2 right now, right? Okay. And it has the market dominance. Market dominance is about 16.72 of 16.72 of the entire crypto market. Okay, so let's go to the other part of my chart, which is how you can track smart money in DeFi. How you can track smart money in DeFi. How you can track smart money in DeFi, right? So smart money is the capital that is being controlled by institutional investors, right? By central banks, individual banks, by market mavens, even exchanges, right? So smart money are huge money, right? And why should you track it? Why should you track smart money? Why should you track smart money, right? So number one reason is that for a better investment strategies. Many of these smart money have the best professionals, the best tools, right? The best advisors, and they have the best strategy. So if you can know what smart monies are doing and follow them, then you can be profitable, which leads to my second point, which is greater chance of success. Greater chance of success. You have greater chance of success. You have greater chance of success. You have greater chance of success if you follow smart money, because these people are investing huge amounts, and if you follow them, the gains that you're going to see on your small amount will be very, very large, right? Another reason that you should follow smart money is that so that you won't lose your money, because if you go against smart money, then there's possibility of you losing your money. So don't go against smart money. Okay, so let's look at how you can follow smart money in DeFi, right? The easiest way is to go to the DeFi chain, right, of your choice. DeFi is now a multi-chain industry, right? We have Ethereum chain, we have Solana chain, Polygon chain, we have Binance Smart chain, we even have a Smart BCA chain, right? So if you go to Ethereum chain, for example, you can start tracking wallet on chain, right, and look at what they are doing, right? If some exchanges are in DeFi, you can know the name of the wallet of an exchange on chain. Yeah. So you can start tracking them. If they are using their wallet for DeFi, start tracking them, what they are accumulating and what they are selling, right? Okay. Then secondly, you can use tools such as Nancing AI, Nancing.ai. So Nancing.ai is a tool that allows you to know what smart money are doing, what venture capitalists are doing in the DeFi space, what banks are doing in the DeFi space. Okay, so you need to check them out. All right, and we have Zappa.fi, which I strongly recommend, and Kubera, right? I strongly recommend both of them. Okay, so having said that, let's go to questions and answers. Let's go to questions and answers. So please keep your questions coming. Keep your questions coming. Let me answer your questions on uh, all the topics that we have discussed today. Okay, so we have someone there, Chelsea fans. You're welcome. Lawa Musa, you're welcome. So keep sending your questions. Come up with questions, right? Before we call it a day today. Okay. Okay, guys. So I'll be waiting for your questions. All right. Keep your questions coming. Keep your questions coming, okay? Peter Todd said, happy to start the week. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Happy to start the week as well, right? So keep your question coming on all the topics that we have discussed today. Keep your questions coming. Keep your questions coming. Okay, so in the absence of any question, in the absence of any question, um, in the absence of any questions, I would bring this live show to a conclusion. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for coming for today's live show. I hope you have been able to learn. I hope you have been able to learn how DeFi innovators and developers can avoid having issues with government regulators. I hope you understand that DeFi is the future of finance. I hope you have been able to decide on your own whether DeFi is a bubble or not. Right? Based on all the information that I've given. I hope right now you have also money. Okay. So don't forget to fill the Google form here so that you can participate in the 100 B USD bonus to exchange, courtesy of Binance, the largest crypto exchange in the world. Okay. So if you have further questions, you can still put it in the comments. And if you want us to discuss a particular topic next week here on DeFi Monday, please go ahead and drop your questions or topic recommendations. All right. So all right. All right. So yeah. All right. So that'll be all. Thank you guys for coming. I look forward to seeing you in the next episode. Bye.